Hello everyone, thank you for connecting with me today. I'm still doing the Morgan-GREER Tarot in a Tin giveaway. Make sure you follow the rules in the description box below. When I reach 2,000 subscribers, then I will give away this lovely deck. She's sleeping right now, but she will be back in other readings. As always, thank you so much. Thank you for the likes, shares, comments, subscribes. Thank you for the personal readings. Thank you for the donations. Thank you just for reaching out, emailing me. I love connecting with everyone. Group therapy, can't get enough of it. You're awesome. Please keep in mind that these are general readings. We are here to learn and to grow and to ascend on our spiritual path. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. Without further ado, let's get on to your general readings. Hi Virgo, thank you for your patience for August, and happy birthday to late August Virgos, right? Virgo babies in the house. The Karmic Wheel readings, I loved that spread, but it just took too much out of me, and all this like retrograde eclipse energy, it's like I'm totally zapped and I cannot like I have to save my like energy, so I might do it in like a collective reading. I don't know. I really liked the spread, but it just took too much out of me. So retrogrades are all about review, so I had to review how I do things. So I'm mixing it up for the other half of the signs, because I gotta knock them out. I gotta get these done. And anyway, I'm rambling about when I get stuff out, and you probably don't care. You probably just want to get to your readings, right? So let's get to your angel reading. You have Sonia, and Sonia says, I bring you a message from your deceased loved one. I am happy, at peace, and I love you very much. Please don't worry about me. So some of you might have had loved ones who have passed away. I'm really sorry about that. I have had a lot who have passed away. I immediately thought of my grandmother. She's a Virgo, or was a Virgo, but she's since crossed over. And sometimes it's really weird because it's like the people that we love, they can be disconnected, or we can feel like hurt and rejected and abandoned from them in waking life, in their living life, but then we can be like so much closer and more intimate with them once they've crossed over. So you might be connecting with someone on the other side, but just know that they're safe and they're at peace. I mean, the other side is so much better than here, right? It's just so much more peaceful, and human suffering on Earth is just like, it's hard, but whenever you feel like you're going through stuff alone, then just know that your loved ones are around. I also want to say my dad is Virgo. I don't think he ever watches these videos, but we had his brother took his life, so he crossed over, and then my grandpa, he crossed over too. So, and also Aunt Pat connects with me if you're listening to that. Aunt Pat shows up for whatever reason, so those people could be surrounding you at this time. But let's keep it moving. I also want to say this fell upright, so this is like your love sector, but it says look to your inner strength, and I think the loved ones that you're connecting with that have crossed over are going to, like, they see that strength within you, and they're going to help you with your sense of strength. So let's get to the first card. We have the Six of Swords. So you're moving away from something, moving on to something. I always find it really interesting that in this deck, this guy is pointing this way, right? So he's not moving on like into the future, it's kind of moving this way. But it typically talks about moving from calmer waters, or from troubled waters to calmer waters. So whatever turbulence you might have experienced, you are coming out of it, and I think you are being guided by someone who's crossed over again. If you haven't had any loved one who has passed away, then this could just be your spirit guides. This could just be, you know, those other realm entities that are helping you through this process, giving you a sense of strength, and helping you come from a troubled situation into a more calmer place. So this is going to be your affirmation for the month. This is something you can, you know, tell yourself in the mirror or just keep in mind. These are a little goofy, but they are helpful. So let's see. We have manifestation. I got this just recently too. Let me read it to you. Manifestation says, if you could have anything you wanted, what would it be? Get specific and get greedy. Honey. I'm sorry, my dog. Nanook. Honey, honey, thank you, thank you. Hold on, hold on. Sorry, guys, she has to let me know when someone's at the door. She's a really good doorbell. She keeps me posted. Okay, it says, manifestation. If you could have anything you wanted, what would it be? Get specific and get greedy. You are holding a magic wand and you can conjure up anything. Could it be that when you declare your wishes out loud, you're actually casting a spell for your dreams to come true? Or is it just that in a very practical sense, the more people you speak with about your desires, the more folks there are who know what you want and might have the means to help you make that happen? Either way, stop waiting and start manifesting. So, it's about speaking what you want, speaking your needs, your desires, your wishes into existence so that, it's kind of like casting a wide net, right? So if you send out the signal, like my dog just did, of what you want, then other people can hear that and they can either, you know, go, like, move away from that, or they can move to that, right? But if you don't say your wishes, if you don't say your desires, if you don't say what you want, then you'll never be able to get it because they're, like, kept in this treasure chest and people can't read your mind, right? So next we move on to Temperance Reverse. Temperance Reverse is about an impatience. So you might be struggling throughout this time. It's about overindulgence. So be careful about what you consume, whether it's food, alcohol, drugs, sex, even media. Like if you know, are on Facebook too much, or if you watch too much news. I mean, news especially is like, why do I like follow the news so much? It just messes with my brain. But just make sure you're not overdoing it in any sort of way. Make sure you're not taking on any sort of excess, because any sort of excess is going to cloud your progress and hold you back. And if this is speaking about an impatience, then the Temperance card suggests that everything happens in its own divine time. And the Temperance card can talk about baking, so you might want to bake to take your mind off some things, or you might want to practice things that help sort of tame your, it helps you be better at not needing instant gratification, right? It helps you be more patient. So things like, oh my god, I just blanked. I immediately thought crossword puzzle. But you could also do like sewing, something you have to, or like cross stitch or something you have to do like incremental things like daily, and then, you know, at the end of 30 days, then you have this beautiful like cross stitch art. But you typically don't finish a cross stitch in one setting, right? Something like that. And as far as baking goes, you know, you have to set the timer, set the oven, and wait for it to come out all yummy. And I definitely see this as dry, like, Dry Desert is a card about feeling like opportunities and manifestations, and it's a feeling like nothing is happening and like your desires aren't seen. I mean, we're in this dry, hot desert, nothing around except these cacti, right? So it's like feeling like, where is it? When is it? Right? It's kind of being in suspension. So these kind of go hand in hand about things being under the surface that you have to wait for. It's like if you garden, it's planting a seed. That seed isn't a giant fern overnight, right? That seed has to break its casing. It has to dig its roots down into the earth, and then it has to make a little baby sprout, and then over time it grows into a full-blown plant or flower or tree or whatever. So these things don't just happen overnight, and it may seem like you aren't getting anywhere, but there's actually a lot going on underneath the surface. If you think about cacti, I was explaining this to Capricorn. If you think about cacti, they can sustain water for long periods of time, right? And water is usually a symbol for emotion, right? So they can, they don't need to be replenished often, right? They can sustain their emotion throughout long periods of time, throughout droughts, throughout heat and arid climates. And so they may look like nothing's happening under the surface, but they're actually conserving underneath the surface. And I think you are growing a source of inner strength because we have inner strength right here. I want to read you, this is going to be your money, health, and career, and I want to read you Dry Desert from the book. But first, I got to make my money, so stay tuned until after this ad and we'll get back to your reading. From the book, Dry Desert reads, dig deep for inspiration and truth. Dig deep. Manifest. For inspiration and truth. Now is the time to become resilient and adaptable. So yes, building your inner strength, building resilience, and what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? Dry Desert goes on to say, is your life presenting you with opportunities that seem to yield nothing? Have your ideas dried up? Ideas, manifestations, right? Have your ideas dried up? Does it feel like you're on an endless journey through a dry, hot, lifeless desert? This card reminds you that there are times when you're meant to be, when you're meant to become resilient as you journey, inner strength, as you journey through harsher circumstances, You're being required to conserve your energy. Conserve! Like a cactus. You're being required to reserve your energy until after consistent effort you reach the oasis you're searching for. Consider the creatures that live in these conditions. They have adapted to thrive in spite of their outer environment. In a desert, water essential for life can be found deep underground. Go deep within yourself now. Find your truth there. Let spirit sustain you while you locate the real source. Whatever it is you're asking about will be found in the conditions you're in until you move past the surface of things. Hold on. Whatever it is you're asking about will not be found in the conditions you're in until you move past the surface of things and choose to do some real work and discover the answers deep within you. This may not seem like the most productive time, but looks are deceiving. This is a most important place to find what's truly right for you. So, it may seem like nothing's going on, and, like, outwardly, externally, maybe nothing's happening for you, so that's the time to go internal. Not hard for Virgos to do because you guys are ruled by Mercury, thinkers, right? And this is time of review. We're in all these retrogrades. And you guys are ruled by the Hermit. The Hermit card represents Virgo and Tarot, and it's all about soul searching, going within. So this is the time to go within and figure out what you really want. We have the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is a card about entrapment. It's a card about you have done all your research, studied all you can, and again, Virgos are really good about that, right? But it's a feeling of, well, I can't do this because of this. Well, I can't go this way because of this thing. I can't do this because this will happen. But it's a false sense of entrapment. I find it really interesting in this particular deck because we have two people, so you might feel trapped within a relationship, and it doesn't necessarily mean that like you need to break out of this relationship. It could just mean that you guys are in a drought period, a stalemate, and so you feel kind of trapped as far as how do we get on? How do we move past this, right? But this whole reading is about moving through stagnation, I think. Moving through entrapment, moving through, I mean, you may feel trapped in this desert, right? And you might be impatient about it, but just remember that an angel is on your shoulder, your loved ones are looking out for you, and this is about making you resilient, making you strong, making you capable. Look to your inner strength. Not a whole lot to say about this, but that hasn't already been said, but it says you are stronger than you realize. So if anything, perhaps this dry desert is encouraging you to go within and recognize your strength, right? So let's get to the last card. We have the Queen of Cups. You could be dealing with a Cancer, Scorpio, or a Pisces. And the Queen of Cups, whenever she's reversed, whenever she's upright, you know, this is like ultimate wife, ultimate mother of your child, very sweet, very tender. She cuts the crusts off your bread. She snuggles with you. She gives you words of encouragement. Just a really tender person, really soft and caring. Can sense your feelings, can really like intuit your feelings. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, whenever she's reversed, this is the same person, but she's off, right? And this could be your energy or someone you're dealing with, and it can be male or female. Take it however it resonates with you. But this is someone who, typical female who, you know, she's moody, and you ask her what's wrong, and she's like, nothing, it's fine, right? And you're like, no, it's not fine. I can tell that something's bothering you. I can tell that you're moody, and you may feel like I'm getting the sense that this person feels trapped. And so as a result, it's trapping you, right? It's like actually not your entrapment, it's their entrapment. And this is someone who can, you know, she is moody. She can be a little, like emotionally manipulative, like guilt tripping you, nagging you. She can, cry crocodile tears, right? So like cry and throw fits just to get her way and, get you to do what she wants, but what she wants isn't always what she needs, right? Because she is moody. She's coming from an emotional place that it's like, these reactions are, they're like to trap you so that she can feel safe. But I don't get the sense that this is like a bad relationship, although some of you might want to move on, some of you might want to leave, but that is all up to you. Every Virgo is going to be different. Some might have to leave, some might have to stay. But I feel like when the Queen of Cups is reversed, you know, she's a very emotional person and she nurtures her emotions. And so upright, you know, she's this lovely person, but when she is reversed, it's like she's doing these sort of emotional entrapments because she hasn't processed unresolved things within herself. And it's interesting that I mentioned cacti and the water with the earth here. So earth and water, right? If you're dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, then Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces is someone who, they are not the cacti. They're not the cacti at all. Because they need water, right? They need constant, like, emotion and feeling. They need like hugs and cuddles and kisses, and they'll get jealous really easily, like, who's on your phone, right? Why did you look at her? But you know, an earth person, they can beat this desert. They can beat this cacti. They don't need like constant cuddles and all of that. But when this Queen of Cups acts out, it's something to, like, almost be flattered by, right? If she's jealous, it means she still cares, right? If she is, even if she's pushing you away, in some ways it means she still cares. But I think the challenge is going to be to move away out of this entrapment, and you might have to be that source of strength for this person right now, right? And it, like, they may be putting you through hell. I'm a Virgo moon. I am dealing with the water sign. I totally get it. They may be putting you through hell, but realize, like, you are the cacti, like, you are the one that can sustain, and like, you are the strong person in this relationship. So don't let their moodiness throw you off balance, throw you off kilter, get you out of inner peace within yourself, right? And whatever the case is, I think you are moving away from conflict and into a state of peace. And I also think you need to be focusing on what you do want, the positives of your relationship, direction, right? So where you want your direction to go, because I feel like there's a lot of looking out onto new paths here. We have it in this dry desert card. She's looking out onto a new path. And then we have it in this Six of Swords card. He's like dancing into a new path, right? And then in some ways the Temperance is kind of like taking a break from this path. So because I said that, you may be on a break from this person, right? You could also be dealing with a Sagittarius. We have Temperance here. They're just not on their game right now. They're just a little off kilter, and so they can't be the best partner to you. But in any case, it's you know how they talked about waiting for your oasis? It's like he is in a hot desert too. These are two like desert cards. They have like a pyramid here. Can we see? And like I said, you guys might be at a distance from each other, right? She's like looking out, he's looking out. It's both this dry desert. And so it's like both of you are in search for this oasis. Both of you feel trapped, and it's not necessarily, it's like, I don't feel like you feel like trapped with each other. I feel like this break is gonna drive both of you crazy. And so, like, this manifestation process, this is about sort of meditating on that oasis of your relationship. How can we get out of this? How can we turn this around? How can we come out of conflict? How can we get back to that Ten of Cups happily ever after? Because, you know, this is someone that you love. This is someone you have feelings for. But right now, it's like, even in partnerships, we have to take time apart to go within ourselves and to work on our personal shit, right? We all have that personal shit of, you know, inner child work, traumatic experiences, Chiron things, you know, devil, inner demon stuff that we all have to work on that no one can help us solve. And so perhaps this time apart is to realize, I think, how valuable you are, right? How strong you are, how much you can sustain, how much you can be strong and upright and survive during these dry times, right? How much you can, it's like carry a torch for someone, I'm feeling. Sweet, sweet. Do I want to clarify any of these? My Morgan-Greers, by the way, you can still do the contest. I would love for you to do the contest. But my Morgan-Greers, they're, one of the cons about them is they're a little, they don't have as much energy, right? They kind of get tired easily. So I put them away, but I'm using them as clarifiers. What do we want to clarify? I don't think there's anything to clarify, actually, but I'll just go quickly. Spirit, 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 could you clarify the Six of Swords, Temperance, the Eight of Swords, and the Queen of Cups? One more shuffle. Okay, you got Temperance again. So this is all about balance. You got Strength twice. The Five of Pentacles is a card about feeling left out in the cold, abandoned. So yeah, you guys could be on a break. You could have felt like, why did this person leave me? Why is this person, you know, shutting me out? Both of you guys could actually feel that way, and both of you guys might be like a little wrong about what the situation actually is, like the truth of it. The Nine of Swords is a card about worries, anxieties, doubts, fears, sleepless nights, waking up in the middle of the night. Whenever it's reversed, it's like you're getting out of that. So again, you are moving on. You are moving out of that. Could also be dealing with Leo. But pretty self-explanatory. Just practice patience and cultivate your, like your strengths, what you're best at, and just think happy thoughts. I know it's hard sometimes. It's hard for me. But think happy thoughts and meditate, pray, and you might make a vision board or anything like that. But just think about your vision for the future, your goals, and what you want. And it looks like a relationship reading. So I love you very much, Virgo. Let me know if that was helpful to you, and I will see you next time. Bye.